And we were talking to Kasumi, asking her about all the things that she's moved into this crew lounge area.
That's my favorite piece, painted for me by a child prodigy from Elysium. She was the cutest thing. She was kidnapped by slavers who hoped to sell her on Omega. I wasn't about to let that happen. I set up an ID as a buyer's rep to get a special tour of the slaver's vessel. Once aboard, I freed the girl and smuggled her off the ship. She painted that for me on the way home. I'll never forget how it felt to watch her work.
I mean, you're the thief with a heart of gold, but you're incredibly forthcoming with all of this information.
Don't laugh, I like those books. Romance novels, crime novels, the classics. There's something about the feel of actual paper in your hands, their musty smell. It's relaxing. Keiji used to find books for me while on the job. Some of these are more valuable than the objects he was hired to steal.
If you say so. As a DLC character, Kasumi has relatively fewer speech options than most. All the base game characters. Okay. Well, alright, we might as well go see what Zaeed's up to. He will not have an upgrade either, but he will have stories. He's got surveillance set up on the ship already. Apparently, dude, everybody is just spying on everybody else on this ship. That's the chef. That's the engine. The sleeper pods that I don't know why we still have them, considering that we now have like regular bunks. Maybe there's a hierarchy on the ship about who gets bunks and who gets pods. That's the galaxy map area. I mean, I don't know why this Joker, I don't know why he needs to spy on Joker. He is the pilot of the ship, I guess. Ship model.
Oh yeah, that's a model of the Veracon. Turian frigate. Hell of a ship. I led a mission to bring that thing down from the inside with just 5 men and whatever guns we could bring. No chance of success, but we did it. Everyone died but me. So I made out like a bandit. My first impossible mission as an independent contractor. There's been many since, but nothing so goddamn sweet as watching that Turian warship crash planetside.
Oh, wow. First mission as an independent contractor. So presumably he was a military at some point in the past, or at least working as part of another organization.
Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something.
You also seem incredibly forthcoming with details about your past, but I enjoy it.
I was trying to remember how many Cerberus operatives I've killed. Lost track around 50.
Yeah.
Guess your elusive man's big on forgiveness.
Or more likely he just doesn't care. But if we're doing body counts, how many Cerberus people would we have killed in Mass Effect 1? 20 people or so? You would think. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know. We'll kill a lot more in Mass Effect 3, I guess.
In the right way, and you can pull that plate right off of Krogan's head.
That's a random and violent thought.
Get a Krogan to talk. The threat of it drives him mad.
I don't know what brought that up.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
How about talk more now?
Hey, don't touch. That rifle's older than you are. I call her Jessie. That's my lucky charm. More men have been killed with that gun than died in the Skillian Blitz. The day I laid her to rest was the saddest day of my life. I give up every weapon I own for one more mission with that shitty old rifle.
It is a shitty old rifle. Look at it, man. Why do you have crayons on your desk? You know, they say that like all the projectiles in Mass Effect are like small, tiny pieces shaved off from blocks of dense material. I wonder what that's what they look like.
I was down and out when I found that gun. Jessie was the first weapon I got my hands on. Took her everywhere. She didn't have much punch, but reliable as all hell. She'd already been
What?
through a lot by the time I got her. Still, I never had to recite her once.
Hmm.
Damn good rifle.
You seem really attached to this rifle.
I remember Jesse's first kill. Turian arms dealer out of Omega. I ran through miles of filth and rust to hunt him down. When I finally cornered him, that gun was caked in 2 inches of the foulest sludge you can imagine. But Jesse wanted that Turian dead, so 2 shots, and he died right there.
You're a bit of a crazy person, clearly.
I killed my way across the terminus systems with that gun. Seemed like Jesse wanted to kill more than I did. Bloodthirsty old bitch.
Uh-huh.
I owe half my reputation to that weapon right there. Anytime someone calls me ruthless, relentless, they're talking about that rifle.
I think you're taking the personification of this rifle far, like really far. Too far.
I don't take Jessie into battle anymore.
Aw.
To retire her about 5 years ago. I was hunting down this Batarian slaver. Forgot his name. Not important. Carved my way through 100 Batarian mooks. I don't remember injecting a clip once. Jesse just kept firing. Reached the slaver and he got in my face. So I went to blow him away and nothing. The old bitch had finally jammed. So I smashed his face in with the butt of the gun and called in the job. After that, Jesse couldn't be fixed. Nothing anyone could do. Like she'd finally had enough blood and was ready to rest. Been resting ever since.
Now, let's talk about a few things. So this gun is allegedly older than I am. So presumably, especially as it appears to be of generic Alliance design, it was not originally built to take thermal clips. So in your story, when you said you didn't have to eject a clip once, why would you say that? Because nobody ejected any clips. As recently as 2 years ago. I gotcha. You liar. Garbage compactor. Airlock. Okie doke. Ooh, looks like a Krogan helmet.
Beauty, isn't it? Pried that off the Krogan warlord, Kazak. Used to run the blood pack out of Omega about 17 years ago. Wasn't even a job. The guy just thought he'd hijack a freighter I was hitchhiking on. Big mistake. I goaded Kazak into one-on-one combat. Took out his legs, grabbed his gun, and killed every blood pack bastard in the room. That was the most beaten Krogan I've ever seen. Kept a helmet to remind me of that pained expression.
Alright. Let's get going. We're gonna check in with Joker next. Well, first of all, was Kelly telling the truth or not? Do we have an unread message? Yes, we do. Yes, so basically if I do Paragon stuff, my scars heal. If I don't want to heal my scars by doing Paragon stuff, then I can get an upgrade. So that's if you want to go Renegade, but don't want the scars, which were a dumb idea in the first place and should never have been a mechanism. You can spend a lot of resources in order to avoid
Minor spike in the primary core, compensating.
in order to avoid having to look at those scars.
Commander.
What do you think of the squad?
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, I would never say anything against Miranda and expect to survive the reprisal. Zaeed is like you, but takes checks. As long as it's not my money, we're good. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
Okay.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's not as ready as she could be. There's always more we could upgrade.
I'm working on it.
As for the crew, you'd have to ask a people person.
That's not you.
Ever think about the old Normandy and the trouble we got up to?
Yeah, those seem like the good old days now, but come on, it was hell at the time. Geth, Saren, Sovereign, and then we got dumped. We're stuck in a weird place, sure, but back then it wasn't all sunshine and bunnies.
Sunshine and bunnies. I don't know. I have fond memories.
What happened to the rest of the old crew? I heard most survived.
Almost did. Presley didn't. The rest of us just sort of drifted apart. The Alliance didn't care. I don't think they liked all the non-humans in your crew. We were your team, Commander. With the Normandy destroyed and you gone, there wasn't much keeping us together.
I see.
I assume everything is going well up here?
I really want a chance to put the Normandy through her paces. I just have to trim up the drive output and it'll be like we never lost her.
Safety standards advise against manipulating drive settings while engines are powered and in use, Mr. Moreau.
Commander, can we shut this thing off? I don't need it in my day-to-day.
Cerberus, why would I do stuff because Cerberus said so? It's gotta mute, use it. I'm not gonna mute Edie. So adapt.
I don't have time to babysit you, Joker. Find a way to deal with it.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, reasoning with the intercom is not my strong point.
Your problem, not mine.
Thanks, I'll remember this.
You do that. Bye.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Do you have more information about yourself for me?
Yes, Shepard.
Let's talk about you.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
How are you getting along with Joker?
Mr. Moreau does not trust me. It offends him that I am installed aboard his ship's computers.
Yeah, the last Normandy did just fine without an AI reminding me the airlock is ajar.
I think we went through all of this dialogue before.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
Goodbye.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
I don't know if the dialogue where this is revealed will turn up later, or I think it might have been hidden in a different branch of dialogue that I didn't take. But the where Edie comes from is from that system, that malfunctioning rogue VI on the moon that we fought in Mass Effect 1. And that is the predecessor to Edie. So that's where she comes from. We've already been introduced in a way of manner of speaking. And if you remember, at the end of that mission, once we've blown up all of the drones and servers, the rogue VI sends out a burst transmission that just translates as help. The beginnings of artificial intelligence. Kelly, what do you think about things?
Earlier when we spoke, you were very open with me. I like that.
Okay.
But I hope I didn't come across as too flirty. I don't want to overstep my bounds.
I liked it.
You're very charming, Kelly.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual. Anyway,
Just
how may I help you, Commander?
have your facts straight when it comes to my inbox, please.
That'll be all.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Alright. So where were we? We should be right around Omega, right? Yeah, we're still here. Let's get back in there, I guess. Let's get back into Omega. We didn't really check out any of the scenery, any of the shops and stuff, and the citizens of Omega. We went straight in and we went for Morden right away. So maybe we'll do a little bit of that. I don't know, I could have skipped that cutscene, but then I just get this cutscene, I guess. Oh, loading screen anyway. Tip: reload weapons frequently. Let's bring Morden along. And let's bring Miranda. Quite the crew. Morden should have plenty of points. Yes, he does. I could beef up the warp on Miranda. Or save up for the final level of this. I think for now we'll just beef up this warp. And Morden, I mean, Incinerate's good, and Scientist is going to be good. I'm probably going to invest mostly in these two. I don't find a ton of use for Cryoblast, if I'm honest, because it mainly seems to affect unarmored enemies, and we've already talked about how unarmored enemies, you may as well just kill them most of the time. So we got 10 points here. Salarian Scientist. That seems quite useful. We'll get another level of Incinerate. And then, do we want this? Or that. This doesn't seem that major, but I want to get to level 4 anyway, so we'll just invest in that one first for now and leave it there. Morden, that seems fine. Actually, I think you should be using the Carnifex. Our squad mates tend to fire in single shots. It seems that way anyway. And so we may as well give them that so they can get more powerful single shots. And for me, I just want to mess around with this instead of the Geth shotgun. And the Geth shotgun is pretty good. But I just want to mess with this for the sake of variety, really.
Judging by the quarantine reports, the plague has been completely eradicated, Shepard.
That's good.
Dr. Solis's assistant has been helping any patients with complications.
Excellent. Knew he could do it.
I have also accessed messages between mercenary groups regarding plans to deal with the Archangel. There's a recruiting station at Afterlight that may have information on him.
Alright, we'll check that out in a bit. But first, we are going this way. To the lower section, the apartments, the marketplace.